We're talking scrimmage. I don't know if this means anything
Football.
to you, but let
football.
me tell you,
Football.
it's the footballing that results in more footballing. Results in more footballing that culminates in actual games being played. We're talking scrimmage notes and most interesting thing about the team for Georgia this year next on Locked On Bulldogs.
You are Locked On Bulldogs, your daily podcast on the Georgia Bulldogs, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What is up, everybody? Happy Monday to you. Welcome to the Locked On Bulldogs podcast. I am Daniel, and he is Clint, and we're together. People love the banter, Clint. They love it when we get together to record a podcast. They love LinkedIn Jobs. Thanks, LinkedIn Jobs, for bringing us today's episode. More on them in a moment. We got lots to talk about, Clint.
And we like it when we're together. It's better when he and I are together because
according to some. Not always according to everyone, but
according to those that know a thing or two.
People like the banter, and you'll get plenty of it this season because we're
two-time national championships, and Daniel and I love talking. So
we're neck deep in football stuff to talk about, Clint. Dare I say we're going to run out of shows before we run out of content.
Somebody might say that, Daniel.
We've got too many. We got too many topics. We've got too many subjects, and so
what are we talking about today?
Today we're talking about this first scrimmage. I don't know if you know, but over the weekend, Georgia held what really is just another practice. But for our sake, for our benefit, they label it a scrimmage. They do a little bit of extra good-on-good periods. They do some simulated stuff. It's not a game.
Some tempo, some time, some things like that.
It's not football, but they run over some situational things. The offense is there. The defense is there. They're in Sanford Stadium, and they are playing football. So we've got some stuff to discuss from that. Kirby spoke to the media. I've got to take away something that made my eyebrows go up when I heard about it from this scrimmage.
Maybe
Clint's got something as well. And then we're just going to give you some general thoughts on what we know this team's going to be good.
Yeah.
We know who the best players on the team are. We know who the weak points on the team are, the position groups that we're nervous about, all that stuff. Clint and I are going to give you our most interesting things about this team, the things that we find ourselves thinking about the most as we head into the season. So lots to cover today on the show. Thanks so much for listening, subscribing, downloading. 7,500 YouTube subscribers. We're basically there, almost there already. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Get on over to the audio podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Follow the show, subscribe to the show, leave us a rating and review. All that stuff is great. Thank you so much to everybody who does that. Spring scrimmage, Clint, and let me jump out with it. Let me jump out with my thing that may just put a smile. Just put a smile on my face.
Was it Stetson Bennett slinging all over the yard in L.A.?
Stetson Bennett's going to be the starting quarterback for the Los Angeles Rams sooner rather than later, guys. Next football season, he will start games for the Los Angeles Rams.
Yeah.
Book it. All right, that wasn't what it was. It was, in fact, Andrew Paul out there, Clint. Reports are Andrew Paul not only out there toting the rock, which, listen to me, if that was the only news we got on Andrew Paul, that he's out there running in a scrimmage, carrying the ball in a scrimmage, that would be phenomenal news.
But it's not the only bit.
That's not, because all signs point to Andrew Paul. He looked impressive.
Berating defensive players.
Against the Georgia defense. Is the Georgia defense any good? I said last week that it might be the best defense Kirby Smart has ever coached, and I didn't stutter.
Nope, he didn't.
So, Andrew Paul being out there, we know from last year that Andrew Paul was turning heads in camp. He absolutely was putting on a show before the knee injury took him out for the entirety of last season. Branson Robinson obviously came on, was sort of a late season hero for the Georgia Bulldogs. We love Branson. We love everything that he's about.
Love him.
But he was behind Andrew Paul by all accounts going into the
This time last year, we were talking about Andrew Paul being a workhorse running back for Georgia.
And then Paul suffers the injury, and the season plays out as it does. Now he's back and hasn't missed a step, Clint. These surgeries, this is not your grandfather's surgical procedure anymore. Same thing in baseball. Used to be baseball, you get Tommy John surgery, you're out, you're done.
You're toast.
Now they give you Tommy John surgery just because it's Tuesday.
I don't know. I'm feeling a little inflammation. Oh, let's cut you open, do some Tommy John surgery.
Let's just give him a tune-up. That's basically what these knee procedures are these days.
Somebody's furiously typing how stupid we are right now, by the way.
100%.
Okay.
But what difference is that from any other episode? All I'm saying is the likelihood of Andrew Paul coming back and being himself is extremely high, and it seems like that's where we are. And from all accounts, Andrew Paul, when he's himself, he's quite good at football, Clint, and that's something very exciting if you're a Georgia fan.
Quite good. A couple interesting scrimmage notes as well. I've been saying this for a while, Daniel, and I'm waiting for you to come over to my side. So let's see if you are still, if the scrimmage...
Woo me.
I'm going to woo you right now. What if I was to tell you that Brock Vandagriff, Brock Vandelay, Vandelay Industries, is exporting nothing and importing nothing? There is nary a thing on the dock.
He's importing the bench.
What if I was to tell you that Gunnar Stockton is, in fact, right now, the entrenched number 2 quarterback for UGA?
Second best quarterback on the team. I'm willing to consider going there.
Okay, great.
The number 2 quarterback on the depth chart, probably not yet. Probably not yet, because depth charts and who's the best quarterback, those are different things. I get that.
I understand that as well.
But boy, Gunnar Stockton.
Gunnar Stockton is showing out, y'all. By all reports, he is hitting deep balls. He's doing what Mike Bobo wants. Again, one more time, Mike Bobo. Y'all, I want you all to come groveling back to us.
Will they?
No.
These are the same people that said Stetson Bennett was going to own a car dealership after he graduated from college. Or didn't graduate from college.
We got to tell the story one time, Daniel, after the first national championship. Smith Bros and you and I, kids in a room, and after the national championship,
we're all hanging out, just reveling in our.
We're all celebrating, and we talked about Stetson Bennett coming back the following year. We got to tell that story one time of all the conversations that took place. But all accounts, Gunnar Stockton does look like the second best quarterback on this team, which is quite remarkable. And then can we just? I need to say this because it hurts me to say it myself. I tried to woo you. Let me try to woo myself.
Safe place.
Bullard's the best safety we have on this team, and might be, hear me out, might be, Georgia fans, the best safety we've had in the last 10 years.
He's a special kid. This little 3-star kid who just allowed himself to be developed by Will Muschamp and Kirby Smart.
Get in the weight room, bulked out, put on a ton of weight this offseason. You see his pictures. Dude was eating, was working out right, was doing all the necessary requirements, has the playbook, consistency, is not afraid to bang. This defensive back, this is going to be the most interesting thing about the team. We're going to go into the second segment with this, but the notes say, again, I said this last week on the pod, Guerrero out here trying to take fools' heads.
He trying to take fools' jobs, I'll tell you that. He trying to take their starting spots.
That's what you do. Mm-hmm. He has affected the market of NIL and for recruiting by how he's playing. Mm-hmm. Recruits have eyes.
They see things.
But Aguero, Starks, Bullard, Daniel, my goodness.
It's it. The back end is covered.
We're fine.
We're going to be fine back there. All right. We got some interesting things to discuss. We got a lot of team-related things to get to right after this.
But first, we need to talk about LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the place you need to go right now. If you need a job and you need somebody else who needs a job, if you need to import great talent,
you need to hire someone for a job.
Export great services. That's what LinkedIn's all about.
I like that.
They are the Vandalay, if you will. And every potential hire that you are out there for small businesses is a huge gamble. It's a huge wager. Be 100% certain that you have access to the best qualified candidates. That's why you have to check out LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the right people for the team faster. You add your post for free. It's fantastic on linkedin.com/lockedoncollege. Daniel and I, we don't need this any longer, but if we did, we'd go here right away and we'd take care of this because they're fantastic. We love them. You should love them. Simple tools like screening questions make it easy to focus on candidates with the right skills and experience so you can quickly prioritize who you want to interview and hire. It's why small businesses rate LinkedIn Jobs #1, delivering quality hires versus leading competitors. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the qualified candidates you want to talk to faster. Post your job for free. LinkedIn.com/lockedoncollege. That's LinkedIn.com/lockedoncollege to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, Clint, we come back. First scrimmage in the books. It just is the wheels towards football season are spinning.
Not this Saturday.
They're
Not
churning.
But the Saturday following.
There will be football.
Correct.
And then, Clint, the Saturday following that, what happens? What happens then?
For Thursday, Friday, games. Saturday, Dogs. Sunday, games. Monday, games. Sandwiched in a beautiful little 5-day period are your Georgia Bulldogs.
Put the request for time off in now.
If not already, I will give you a sickness.
Okay, that
Was that too much?
We can neither confirm nor deny that. Clint, let's move on. Let's move on. Most interesting thing about this team, the thing that as we get closer to this college football season, you find yourself. Your mind just wanders there. It gravitates toward this little nugget or this little bit of information concerning this team. What is it for you?
Here, it's going to be simple. It's going to be straightforward. But to say it, I'm going to sound stupid. I'm going to sound uneducated. I'm going to sound like I am puffing up my chest and like I am talking like I'm just barking for barking's sake. Okay?
Okay.
Now, Daniel, if we look back at the track record of the past 2 drafts, and you were to look at the defensive line draft prospects that have come out of Georgia into the league, you could make an entire defensive line that is...
Some have. Some teams that wear green and white have done so.
You could have had Jalen Carter at 2, 4, 3, 5, 6. You could have had him. And you let him fall into the teens.
You passed.
You're an idiot, GM.
Yeah.
You took a linebacker.
You're dumb.
Out of Iowa or whatever you did. You're an idiot.
Sure thing.
Jalen Carter is manhandling fools already. Defensive line has had
defensive line players.
Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, edge like Nolan Smith, guys all up and down the league.
Sure thing.
Daniel, this defense is better than all of them. Okay, this is the most interesting thing to me. Our defense, 2 years ago, historic. Last year, great. Took a little bit drop off because 2 years ago was historic. And I'm telling you that the back-end secondary has not seen a back-end secondary this tight, this incredible in a hot minute at Georgia. We've seen some peaks. We've seen some incredible. Lewis Seen's a damn good dog. Starks was there last year. But as a cohesive unit, this is the best, deepest, most talented, most disciplined, and most experienced secondary Kirby Smart has ever had. Fact 1.
It's tough to argue.
Fight me on it. That's what I mean. Fight me on it. Anybody that wants to. Okay. Fact 2, linebackers from a talent perspective on both backers, not one. Roquan, Nakobe Dean, Channing Tindall, I get. But from both backers starting, you can go 3 deep, you can go 4 deep if you want. Talent-wise, might be the most talented backer group we've had in the last 10 years combined. Not just one guy, okay? Not just the top, but combined. This inside
2021 pretty solid.
Okay, let's talk after the year.
Quay Walker, Nakobe Dean, Channing Tindall. Pretty good.
Pretty dang good. I'm with
good.
you. Let's talk after this year. This is all I'm saying. Let's just have a chat. And if you think it's ludicrous, let's have a chat. Defensive line.
Let's check back in.
Mykel Williams is going to be the best edge defender Georgia has ever had.
All
I,
right.
I said it.
Yep.
I know I said it.
Wheels are off the tracks at this point.
No. Marvin Jr. over on the
Jones
other
Jr.
edge.
Mm-hmm.
Chaz.
Oh, he fine.
Chaz, I love you, brother. But go ahead and do a little rip under swim move. Get to the quarterback a little quicker because bro behind you saying, get out of my way. I'm coming for it.
Well, there's plenty of bros behind you.
We have
of dudes.
This defense might be the best that we have had when all is considered. And this team has a chance statistically to make that kind of impact with the cupcake schedule that you all say we have. Whatever. But I am most intrigued that I have watched insane defensive performances. My favorite dogs in the history of Georgia football have been in the past 6-7 years on the defensive side. And I might be getting more. I might have to replace my top 3 favorite players. That might have to reshuffle is what I'm saying after this year. That's incredible. That's at least the conversation. I don't know if it's going to happen. I think it will. But even if it doesn't, the fact that I'm having that conversation, the fact that I'm thinking about it, and I'm not just thinking about it as fan talk, although I am a fan, the fact that I'm considering it is insanely interesting to me, Daniel.
How about the fact that Mykel, Malachi, Jalen Walker, none of those guys are eligible for the draft.
Can't leave.
Nothing. These are sophomores. We're talking about. These are sophomores. Okay. The defense is good. The defense, friends, is good. Some of these, there are going to be moments in like week 2, week 3, when somebody's going to make an unbelievable play, and we're going to go, "Oh my gosh, I forgot about him. I forgot about him."
Well, that's Christian Miller. Oh yeah, no.
Oh, I forgot about him. Oh, is that because you're not a Georgia fan because you don't really pay attention? No, it's just because there's so many guys. It's unbelievable how many guys might make an impact on this team this season. It is a very interesting thing to think about. It's if your mind is wandering, just let it wander over there and just mull over it with Clint for a bit.
All I'm saying is consider. Let's 4 years ago, we had hockey line rotations. Okay. Defense just changing out all the time. I think that was because Kirby didn't have guys that knew the system like the back of their hand yet. The keeping guys in shape, keeping guys fresh. I think that's why that was there. 3 years ago, nobody came off the field, Daniel. Just everybody was there. It was tried and true. Lock it in. Last year, we had a little mix and match in there. We had a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. We had some injuries to deal with. We had some guys. The linebacker rotation wasn't completely satisfied yet. Defensive line, the same thing. End was especially rotational. This year, and it was because we were trying to find it, and we finally got our groove near the last half of the season. Okay. This year, I think there's going to be a little bit of both because the depth is so incredible that all the guys deserve to play. It's not 4 years ago, and it's not 3 years ago where we had top tier. We have top tier on 2 deep, and Kirby wants to get run for guys. It's going to be like the aforementioned linebacker group of Tyndall, Quay, and Nakobe. You just got them out there because they had to touch the field. But now do that on every level of the defense. That's
everyone running full speed every play that they're in the game. That's what I hear you say.
Oh my gosh. Spencer Rattler, bro. Go to a knee.
It's not going to be great.
Go to a knee. Leary, I've seen the go to a knee.
Yeah, it's not going to be great. All right. My most interesting thing about this team coming up right after this. All right, Clint. Your most interesting thing, maybe the best defense that Kirby Smart has ever coached.
I love this.
It's so ridiculous to even say, but well, like you said, let's just chat about it.
Let's just chat about it. That's all I'm suggesting. A couple weeks from now, let's just chat.
Let's just chat. Let's do that. My most interesting thing, I'm not going to go the other way. That's not a fair way to categorize what I'm going to do.
Okay.
It's not going to be a down. I'm not going to Daniel Downer this situation, even though
That's what
if you're new
to.
new to the show, that is the thing that I bring to the table.
Literally a wet blanket over there.
There's a whole group of people out there, by the way, that think that I am like naively optimistic all the time because Georgia's been so good that I've been like, well, we're better than the other teams. You guys
are arrogant. Hold your mouths. Don't get too.
Don't run your mouth in front of the cart. But like, what
cart in front of the horse?
But see, we got ahead of ourselves last year, and then Georgia won all the games.
We just
they won every game that they played in.
I have these. I look. I see. I comment on what I see.
We're not by nature optimistic people.
We are the opposite of optimistic people.
Ask anyone.
Literally anybody that knows.
You want an optimistic person? Let me introduce you to executive producer intern Michael Smith. Like that.
You go talk to him.
That man will just give you some sunshine.
It's a Care Bear. He's a Care Bear with a mustache.
No one understands that. No one gets that reference. That is from your childhood, Clint, not theirs.
Thank you.
I'm going to go, though, with it. This is, to me, the most interesting thing about this team.
Okay.
And it's important, I guess, to give that qualification. But when I find myself thinking about this team, more often than not, I find myself wondering, is this a situation where as much as we loved him, as much as we were happy to have him, did Georgia fans not know what they had in Stetson Bennett until it's too late and he's gone? Like, this is the thing about this season.
Let me go grab my hanky really quick. I need to be waving it.
This is the thing about this season because it's a little bit of a, you pave paradise and you put up a parking lot. You don't know what you've got until it's gone, Clint. This is the way that it works. The great American poet.
Now your teams are showing.
Once told us that. Stetson Bennett's the best quarterback to ever play at Georgia. And that's not like... that should scare you as a Georgia fan. Like, I'm not beating my chest here.
No.
Stetson Bennett's the best college football quarterback of all time. And that should terrify you.
Because he's not here anymore.
Because he plays for the Rams now.
Okay.
And he's the only quarterback to win a national championship at Georgia in 42 years. So now we're trying to do it without him. And all of you who couldn't wait to tell us last year how the defense carried that team to the championship and Stetson Bennett had nothing to do with it and whatever, blah, blah, blah. None of you are talking anymore, which I appreciate. I appreciate the fact that you've learned from your mistakes, that you've had a little humble pie and you've changed your ways. But for all of us now, we can acknowledge the greatness of Stetson Bennett. And this has nothing to do with Carson Beck. It's not even a conversation about Carson Beck. I don't find myself thinking about Carson Beck really at all on this football team because I think he's going to be fine. The question is, does he have it? The it that Stetson Bennett had, especially last year once he got comfortable, where Stetson Bennett was the guy that just would go out there and he would not let you lose a game. Go back and watch that Ohio State game. I beg you. I beg you to go back and watch it.
But our defense
this team's getting housed in this game. Like, this Georgia team that you love is getting housed.
We are.
In this game. And it's the fourth quarter and we're down by 14 points. And Stetson Bennett just simply looked around and said, I'm not going to stand for it anymore.
I got you. Hop on this
Georgia
back.
fans, are we... It's not like I don't think we have the most talented team in college football this year. We do. I think we have the best team. I think we have the most talented team. I think we should be the favorite to win it all. Anything can happen. It's football. But I think we should be the favorite to win it all. But I guess it's just interesting. I find myself often thinking about middle of the season this year, how much am I going to miss Stetson Bennett? Like, how much am I going to be thinking about that kid still and how he doesn't play for my team anymore?
On the road, maybe Tennessee sneaks up, down by 14 in the second. That script we've seen before from Tennessee and Georgia. And we're thinking to ourselves, Carson has to go prove to me he has it, not he has it and I have confidence.
Yeah.
He has to go prove to me he has it. That's a different beast. That's a different feeling.
It is a different feeling. Stetson Bennett, just every moment, we should just appreciate this young man and the fact that he is a Georgia Bulldog, that he chose to come back when he could have gone elsewhere.
Thrice.
He chose to be a part of this team even when he got passed over. He chose to stick it out. Listen, there's a lot Georgia fans should be thankful for. I hope that middle of this season we're not still longing for the good old days when Stetson Bennett was the quarterback.
All right. So if you're part of the 199, go over to bonfire.com/store/199. Get Bottles and Bucket t-shirt.
That's what you're going to need.
You're going to need.
You're going to need them both.
You're going to need both of them.
We talked about importing, exporting a lot on this show. Bottles and buckets is a perfect analogy. You import, you export. This is the way that it goes.
I don't make the rules.
I don't
just
make the
follow
rules,
them.
but I just simply do subscribe to the bottle and to the bucket. All
This
right.
has been,
Clint and I have got more to talk about. We'll be back tomorrow. This has been the Locked On Bulldogs podcast, and we will see you guys then.